What's up, WWE Champions Universe? This is Lee from Champions Chat, and this is your breakdown for Liv Morgan Revenge Tour. I know I'm a little bit late, a lot of work going on here, but it actually works in my favor because they reworked Liv very quickly after she came out to make her a little more powerful. And so this video actually does have the rework in mind as opposed to, me having to delete and redo a video that I wouldn't have had time to do. So again, worked in my favor. So she is a female technician, S tier, defensive, modern era. So that's a lot of things, but basically, for your technicians, you're looking most comparable would be Molly Holly, and I know before the rework she was not considered better than Molly Holly, which is fun and interesting, and or Charlotte Flair, although not defensive, but your technician. So those would be kind of the two to beat. Like, can she beat the free Molly, who granted with gears gets a lot better? Or can she beat Charlotte Flair, who's very, very fun to play with? Links, she has the new Liv Morgan Revenge Tour with Dirty Dom, which gives 4 more MP. So if you run her in Showdown, you don't need 1 or more trainers. And then she does not currently have a gear, although there was a stretch there where S tiers were pretty well all getting gears. So who knows, maybe she will. The moment is not active on here, but there is a moment you can get, so that's just not a part of the equation at this moment. Get what I did there. As always, we're going to run her multiple different ways, usually 3, and we're going to start with this setup right here, which is a little funky, but I think it's going to work pretty well. Triple yellow, 8 MP on these, with New Jersey Buster being 10 MP. So you've got the Ripcord Knee Strike, deal damage, make the middle row into Pyro Blue, which will modify all gems above it into blue. But then we're immediately going to overwrite that with the Jersey Codebreaker, deal damage and make the middle row into Snowfall Yellow, which will modify all gems below it into yellow. So we're using the Pyro, you know it, to trip the Piper Plate, and then we're overriding them. Otherwise, that Pyro would not be needed. And we could run the move where you might need to run it, where you increase your yellow MP right here, the jumping in Zaguri, to get loaded. But you need this to run the Piper Plate. Where you wouldn't need it is if you, and I'll show you in another variation here, is if you run the Let Me Talk to You plate and go for the blue gem damage instead. But either way, so that's going to get you going. And then the finisher, deal damage, increase the damage of all your gems by 225%. That's higher at gold for 1 turn. Then you choose a 7x3 area to destroy. So it's pretty well yellow, yellow, yellow across the board. In order to get started loaded, you would need to have both Kofi and Braun on this one. So that is a little bit of a rough one. Also, a midline bonus or Santa Hogan in feud, because that's only going to get you to 9 right there, and your finisher is 10 MP. So you will still need Santa Hogan or a midline bonus. Then just max out your yellow gem damage. So I've got 2 right here doing 30%. On the plates, the biggest and only important thing is the Piper Power. Whenever you make 4 or more Pyro Gems, increase all your gem damage by 100% and your yellow gem damage by 500% for 1 turn. Then we're going to do the basic plate, the Unbreakable Crown. Whenever you break 7 or more yellow gems, generate 20 green gems, because that's her primary color. And her move right here buffs all gem damage by 225%. So the yellows are going to be hitting pretty hard, and then the greens are going to hit. So that's a benefit on both sides of it there. I do have the new Fury 3 on there. I don't mean to put these on all the previews going forward because they are going to be rare, but it has been on here, and so I wanted to at least show you what her damage would look like. But in fairness, if you look there, if you don't count the Piper Plate, I'm not buffing the yellow gems all that much with those, just the 100% and then the 100% from the strap. So the rest of it's pretty much the Piper Plate. So let's go up here against Nikki Cross. we are going to see how she does. And just a note, I am going to have to... No, I'm not going to have to eat a turn. Never mind. Normally, we don't have the tour perks. Okay, so you're going to want to lay down the middle row as the Pyro Blues. So that triggers the Piper's Plate now. Boop, doop. Then we're going to overwrite those immediately with Snowfall Yellow, which I think is so interesting. It would have been cool if they did like one row and then the like row up from it, but that's not what happened, so life's good. Then we're going to buff all of our gem damage by 225%, and we're going to break this area so that we just get as much of those yellow gems at the bottom as possible, and then we're going to throw down a bunch of green gems immediately. So yeah, this is a big hit, actually. So, ready? 46 million. So that would be about 90-ish million at gold. That's a pretty good start. Pretty good. It does require some things. You got to have a Piper Plate. You got to have Brawn. You got to have a midline bonus. So typically I don't start with all of that, but I mean, gosh, that is where your mind goes right away. I mean, you see the Piper power setup and you gotta go for it. So that's moveset 1. Let's take a look at something else. The second moveset is kind of a variation. It's the same basic effect, except for, we're going for the Pyro Blues instead of the Snowfalls with the Pyro. So in this case, you're subbing in the Jumping Enziguri instead of the Snowfall gem move. 6 MP blue, deal damage, increase your yellow MP by 10. So now you don't need to worry about double trainers. And then also, if the opponent uses a move to fill any of their moves MP, like she's doing with this one, then deal damage and steal the opponent's turn. Another thing to watch out for on feud matches. Then the Ripcord Knee Strike that we didn't see because we just immediately override it, makes the middle row into Pyro Blue, modifies all gems above it into blue because, I'll skip to the plates first, we're using the Let Me Talk to Ya. Whenever you make 4 or more Pyro gems, increase your blue gem damage by 300% for 1 turn. But we are going to leave the Unbreakable Crown on there because the Miz plate buffs yellow from Snowfall, which won't help us when we're doing Pyros. And there's not really a Pyro plate that you would want to put in here either. So we're going to still break those yellow gems, which is going to generate 20 gems of her main color. And we're still leaning into the fact that she has a buff on her move. So then we're going to change out the entourage. You can use Kofi or this guy. If you got this guy, he's the better way to go. Braun gives you yellow and blue MP. So actually, sorry, not Kofi. You would want Lawler. If you don't use him, you want Jerry Lawler. And then you need Old Dirty Dom. Not the Dirty Dom, but the pre-Dirty Dom when he was just Judgment Dom. Blue gems do 40% more damage and start with 2 more turns. And then Jey Uso, yeet. Color turn gems do 125% and blue gems do 30%. That's the more important one. Just anybody who does blue gems at 30%, which I think would be Afa for the the more common side of things. And then free Gunther, blue gems do 30% more damage, and if you have them at 6 gold, 35k, then that does 40% instead. So good stuff all around. Same basic setup that we just did, except for we're leaning into the Pyros instead of overriding the Pyros. So, without 99 MP, you would need to hit this one to load your moves, and it does flawlessly reload really nicely. Now we're going to throw down those Pyro gems so that way we can buff the blue gems by 300%, and then we're buffing them again by another 225%. And pretty much the opposite of what we just did. Instead of making sure you hit them from the top, you want to hit these from the bottom so that you break as many blue gems or turn the rows above them into blue as much as possible. And you know what? I realized we're not actually turning that into yellow, so ignore the May plate because you just have to get lucky for that one to hit. So, yeah, we did not. So that was about 40 million at gold if you do it that way. So as you can see, the Pyro plate so much better than the Let Me Talk to You plate. But I wanted to make sure, you saw it because it is a very valid move option, right? It's there. Let me just look at the plates, though, real quick, because I don't think there's anything that really goes that would replace. Like, most of these are... I mean, nothing is Pyro gem based. The Pyro Princess is Multiply. Yeah, there's not really much of anything that I would throw in instead with the way this is set up. So, yeah, I think that first slot is just whatever you want to put there. It flawlessly loads, so you don't need anything else. You could do something like one of these plates just to get things going, but you're not making countdowns, blasts, row breaks, etc. So, yeah, I just would actually not use the Unbreakable Crown or anything in that spot at all right now. Maybe there'll be a plate later, but currently no. So that's a second quick move set, just kind of a variation, but as you can see, it was not as good. The last move set we're going to take a look at is the Immobile gem move set, but we're going to run it two different ways because there's the Guillotine, which gives you 49 random sub gems that turn into Immobile, and then there's the Liv Kick, which does a 3x3 into Immobile. So yeah, we're kind of see some things with this here as we go, but we've seen everything else yet far. So this is really the last setup we can do. Well, last two variations of the same thing. Either way, the DDT, it's a 6 MP blue, deal damage, choose 10 gems to make green, and the pin bar will not move. The Guillotine submission, 49 random sub gems, do damage, not a ton of it, for 5 turns. Wish that was less. But the remaining will turn into Immobile, and you are making the whole board. So it's going to overwrite the opponent's other gems. And then the Oblivion, deal damage, increase your blue MP by 6, and then do damage. And it is a decent hit there, plus bonus damage for every Immobile gem, and pin the opponent. On the Entourage, you're going to want either Lawler or this guy, Brawny here. Not Brawny Stroface, that's the other Braun Brecker. For blue MP, start with 4. And then you want the new Bull Nakano. For Immobile gems, do 75% more damage, and blue moves start with 2 more. The Liv, Training Liv, Immobile gems 60%. And Powerhouse Hogan for Immobile gems do 100% more damage. So now you're dealing damage on your finisher, plus your finisher is then going to deal a 1.6 million bonus damage per Immobile gem. So if you leave a lot of them on the sub, that's gonna hit. That's gonna hit. On the plates, notice I do have the nearing end on here. That is more for the next setup because I don't think this triggers off the sub. I'm pretty sure we've confirmed that before. It's just been a long time since I remember doing it. So this is more for the next move set where we just create them. But we do have the neck breaker. Whenever you break 4 more green gems, generate some random blue gems in the mix just to get going. If you magically reload that move multiple times with this, then who knows. But keep in mind, she does not break the whole board, so she does not make it possible really to use one of the Royal Rumble plates, surprisingly. Yeah, and then we do want to go ahead and have a Fury 3 green move damage when equipped, or Fury 2 would also work great, because then that's going to buff up your finisher damage. All right, so all that said, we're going to go in against Nikki 1 or 2 last times here, one for each of the move sets, and yeah, get her done. So you're going to first need to do this, and with Hogan, it is 12 gems into green, but the pin bar doesn't move, so you can take that to your advantage and create kind of these endless cascades if you want to. And, if you can do it, do the break green, get blue, for example, right? See, we just did that, and now we could do it again. So you could just kind of do an endless loop with that. But we're going to go straight into the make 49 random sub gems, which it's not random because it's the entire board, except for that one lousy we threw out there. But whatever. whatever. And you saw our plate trigger, which actually was way to our disadvantage because she destroyed a lot of my Immobile gems. And I'm not happy with that, Bob. So you would do a 3x3 area, which is functionally, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We only got 6 gems more because of that plate. So I actually don't like that plate being on there. I would trade it for, is it the La Familia, which would be fitting, right? Where you break the green gems, you get blue, or the whichever one it is. But either way. So you're dealing 1.6 million bonus damage per, so you're still going to see her drain right here. Pew, gone. That was 29 million, which is great for what it was, considering how little we had left. Just keep in mind that will not scale to 6 gold. It doesn't double, I should say, because bonus damage pers do not scale. So, I would personally not use this moveset after too awful long. But the sub it's a super sub. It does all the things. Oh, and you can't do that. Well, I'm just going to take this. Yeah, I'll leave it for now because we're going to show the other variation here in a sec. I do want to run that one more time and just see, without using that blue move first, what we can get to leave on the board, because I do want to see what this could actually hit, because 30 million is not bad at gold. Yeah, it is. It's not good at gold. But we should have left a lot more of the board. Yeah, see, that sub's just way too long. I mean, she can't get her moves, which is nice. But, yeah. All right, so now let's just do it and see what this hit would be for. Bam, and that would be still about 30 million. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, it's just not going to scale, unfortunately. But it is foolproof. It's super sub. You keep loading the moves. You just win. You're just going to win. You're just going to win. But right now, the Pyro build is still way... The Piper Power build, I should say, is still way out in front for me. All right, so now we're just going to do the same exact thing, except we're subbing in the Liv kick. This does have a bonus if you're facing a powerhouse. Then you deal damage and you increase your green move damage by 300% for 1 turn. So you do get a bonus on the finisher. Just keep in mind, if, as I have done on videos before, if you use something where you cascade, you're going to mess yourself up. Luckily, this does give you the pin bar will not move, which is kind of why I think that's in there, right? Because then you got your move damage, which is, where are we at? Blue MP, 4 point, oh, that's the bonus. So 852k. So that's not a huge finisher. But you times that by 3, it gets a little spicier. Little better. Now is where this nearing in plate comes in, though, because now we're making a 3x3 area, and we're going to increase all our gem damage by 350%. The problem is, here's the problem. You need to be able to throw down this 9 MP green Liv kick first, and then do the DDT where you're making your green gems, which is going to be what buffs, because this doesn't actually destroy the board in any way. So, again, I kind of started with the best moveset and have gone backwards from there. But I appreciate everybody who stayed around to watch, because it really helps us out. And you need to know, like, does this actually work? Is it actually good? Yeah. So you will need to use this without 99 MP in play to get her loaded. Pin bar doesn't move, so do whatever you want with it, to be honest. Because, yeah, it's not going to cause any cascades or anything. You just hit it, and then boom, there you go. So that was 2 million. Now we're going to throw these down. So if you look, the green gems are at 107,998. But more importantly, we want to see if this moves, right? Right now it's 1.6 million. If we throw these down, and the nearing, I knew it was going to put it right there. I knew it. But the nearing in plate doesn't trigger, at least visually here. So, yeah. Boom. And then that's still wiped her out. Let's go up against a gold opponent real quick, because we're not seeing what that damage is actually doing with going up against Nikki Cross. So I just want to make sure, for science, I don't want to extend out the video. This has been plenty long. I still got some work. Well, actually, I'm done with work for the day, so that's nice. But I still got things to do, so let's go. I really wish this wouldn't go all the way back to the main. There's a home button for a reason. Back should never take you all the way to the main, because I want to change tours, and I can't do that if it takes me back to the main. Anyway, all right, we're going to check out against Jade. Jade's going to have a lot of health, and we can just see what it does. Just see what she does. And once again, for science, I'm just not going to hit the blue move, because I just want to see what this hits for. Because it's kind of like Seth Leonardo, where it hits a small 9 area. 38 million. So yeah, that's not... Oh, and she's going to kick out of this and whoop me. Awesome. Yeah, 39 million. So that is still within the reason of what I thought it was going to be. Thank you. Come again. Go away. Go away. Whoops. Nope. Quit and quit. All right. So 39 million at gold is just really nothing. I mean, it's not for an S tier. That's not a good hit. So let's put the sub back in just real quick and see. Gotta bring her back to life real quick. Let's just see what the sub version did if we left stuff on the board. There we go. Heal her and go. Because I just want to see her hit harder. Right now, the Piper powered build, even with her being reworked, is about the only thing I really see value in for her. So we'll talk about that in a second. We'll talk about it. See if Jade can just not break most of my gems. Yeah, she broke a lot. But there she didn't. Okay, so we do have a decent amount on the board. And the Aussie, or not the Aussie, the nearing in plate's not really in play. Just keep in mind that's out for now. Still 38. Oh, 51. Okay. I was going to say, how did it be 51 and she ended her? So, yeah, 51 million for an S tier is just still not much. So, overall, her best moveset is by far the version with the Piper Power. If you don't have that, I honestly don't know that I have a... If you don't have a spare Piper plate, I don't know what I would recommend for her. I mean, probably this, just because it's going to flawlessly recycle, but it's not fast. It's not feud ready. Yeah, I don't see how I missed anything. Yeah, we've done all that. Unless it's just like a move damage thing that I'm forgetting. Deal damage. Oh, that's still only 1 million damage on that finisher. So that's not huge. And that one's... Yeah, I mean, all the way around, I just don't see a better build than running triple yellow with a Piper Power. If you don't have that, yeah, probably run this, but I just really wouldn't... I don't know. I just really wouldn't run that in very many modes. So overall for me, this is the rework. Now, I don't have the moment on there, but still, without a moment, without a new plate or something like that, I definitely wouldn't use her above Molly. Molly hits way harder, and Charlotte's a lot more fun. So, I mean, she's all right. She's fine, you know. The fact that we've gotten so many Liv Morgans recently maybe also dilutes things, but I will say, artwork-wise and character model-wise, man, that's one of the better ones that they've done. So from that side of it, it's good. But in terms of, like, should you go hard after this character, I don't know. I think I'm going to like Dom better. Whoa, we'll see. Anyway, that's it for this video. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Like the video, subscribe to Champions Chat, and send this to your friend or faction mate who needs to know, do I need Liv for her revenge tour? Here's your answer. We'll see you on the next one, friends. Bye.